centre of Thurles town. As you can see, it's called St. Mary's. Very old cemetery and church. It was founded in the 13th century, originally by the Anglo-Saxons or the Anglo-Norman style building of churches. Obviously pre-Reformation, which was then Catholic, and then the old story of King Henry VIII changing the faith into Protestant faith in the 16th century. It obviously then became part of the Church of Ireland. But it's a very interesting cemetery, so let me take you on a little guided tour. As you can see, this is the old section of the cemetery. Lucky to have this weather today in Ireland. Beautiful day. And I'll just take you up here and you can see where we're heading at. Needs a little bit of upkeep on this part of the cemetery, which is the oldest part. If you have got time, you can take a stroll around here and see that some of the tombstones here go back right into the 1750s, early 17. Let's have a look at this one here. Here lies the body. I'll just give it to you. Here lies the body of, I can't sure make it Payne's Ryan, who died in the year, died May the 16th, 1799, age 31, thereafter in peace, erected by his wife Anne Ryan, who departed this on September, I can't make it must be 17 or 1806. Or it could be 1767, I'm not sure. But if he died first, she could only erect it after his death, so it must be maybe 1869, I'm not sure. Further here, this one's in 1792. You can make it out quite clearly there. This one here, John Leahy, who departed this life, age 65, in October 1780. One next to it's 1861. And if we go further down here, which I'll do in my part 2, so we'll revisit the cemetery. There's just another interesting fact here, that there's a knight and his lady buried here, and we'll go around. Also in the section over to the right of the church from where I'm coming in, that wasn't the main entrance, is the military section, which we'll do in detail on another date. But there you go, and there's the bell tower. That's just been recently restored. It was in a hell of a situation. I see they took off the original clock and put on a new clock, so we'll have a look at that. But you can look at the stained windows, which is an indication of that time. All the churches of Ireland were with stained glasses that go back quite a few centuries. So we'll take a walk up here and do kind of like a tour around the back of the church, following the graveyard to the other side. So we'll just take this pathway here and mosey on to the other side. But as you can see, grounds here are not too bad. It is kept up most part of the cemetery. Oh yes, this is the part that I wanted. That was the interesting part in this cemetery. So this dates back to the 13th century, and the knight was a butler and his wife was a Walsh, so they came from those families respectively. As you can see here, here's the tomb, and you can see our Lord on the cross, and it is surrounded by 12 apostles. So this dates back to the 13th century early. So there's the knight, very worn down, and there's his lady. The Latin writing has been corroded with the rain and through the years, so I'll have to read up on that. But there you can see he's wearing his full armor there. And on the bottom here you can see these are the shields. That's the butler shield, and to the right is the Walsh shield, and in the center there's St. Patrick. Also, I didn't know this, but the dogs at the bottom of the statues or monument or the slab here indicate that the dogs are sleeping and that they actually died at home. So that's something, you learn something new every day. And it's right here at the back of the church. There's the back. We'll go around here. This is all overgrown, as you can see. Broken tombstones, column, there's a column that's knocked over. But as I say, as I get a clearance here to come here, I can go into more detail here. So there'll be a part 2 and a part 3. This is so much history here that you can't just do it in 10 minutes. But I will be coming back here again. It's in my hometown, and we'll take it from there. This is an interesting one here. It's a hell of a monument. Unusual to be this side and in this kind of format. Now there's a crest on top there, and I think that's something to do with royalty. And it's in Latin. I can't make out a date there. Maybe you can help me here. Let's get up here on this vault. Let me just see. I don't know who's good at Latin here, but let's see if I can zoom in a bit. The zoom doesn't seem to be working. There it is, 1683. So that's nearly approaching 350 years. And up there, I'll just get that up there. Up there you can see there's the actual crest, the coat of arms. Seems to have an angel flying in the center of it, and down the bottom there's words like AG or IG and ER at the end, and I think that's to do with royalty or some kind of very important persons here in their day. You can see the sky is blue, 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 and we'll just move around here. Here's a grave here with a private enclosure, obviously for the family. The name Wood, 1863 and 1869. And there's quite a few tombstones here that you cannot see the dates because they're pre-16th century. I can vouch for that. So all the engravings and the actual names have faded to corrosion. I'm coming around here now. Now you can see the good part of the cemetery is over here. This is kept up by the Military Association of Ireland, military historians. So we'll just have a look around and see. There's a grave from 1831. Michael Ryan. Ryan is a very common name here in Tipperary, a very strong name. Must have been a huge clan in the early days, in the dark ages, as they say. Here's a captain. There he is. Let's read that. Erected by P. Carew of Waterford, merchant, in memory of his beloved wife Alice Mary, who died June the 10th, 1863, aged 33 years. In your charity, pray for the repose of the soul of Alice England of Tipperary, who died 22nd of September 1885. And there you go. Also Captain Thomas Carew. May their souls rest in peace. He died in 1942. So yes, we'll go on here. Just to give you also a background of this military cemetery that we're going to enter just now, it is, the memory of soldiers that died in the Lebanon, Irish soldiers that died in the Congo, and further conflicts where Irish soldiers have fought everybody else's war except their own. October the 4th, 1832. I think, guys. I don't want to rub them or mess around with anything. But we'll head down here. You can see the workers are here. These are all volunteers, veterans. So we have Irish veterans here. And we are taking a look around as we go, okay? We'll come around to the cannon and then move our way in. (1843). So it goes way back. So you can see the contrast between that side of the cemetery and to this side, where the war commissions and these various groups that look after the cemetery. And then we have a cannon here. There's two cannons here. I think one's a howitzer, I'm not too sure. This one is in very good condition. John Ducey, Margaret, age 72 years. February 1875. I've got to get this right here. Okay, there we go. So you can see, rest in peace. 1881. And you get up to 4 or 5 people sharing some of these graves. Now here we come to a memorial wall of our fallen dead and to great people. This one's for Tom Semple. He won his first All-Ireland in 1900. 2 Mile Boris, he's from this area. Captained the Thurles Blues. And by the way, the head of the GAA, or the Irish Games organization, is based in Thurles. So they named a stadium after him, which is called the Semple Stadium, for his honor. He held posts of the county board. He did a lot of work while he was on this earth. and also had a position in the Great Southern Railway in Thurles. A Republican patriot and GAA man of renown who died on the 11th of the 4th, 1940, and is interred in the cemetery. Okay, now here we have the different areas of conflict. These are the chaps that were in Jannetville. These are the people that lost their lives, the Irishmen for the United Nations. It was a debacle. If you read up on it, you can see they made a movie recently about it when they were surrounded by thousands of Africans and terrorists, and they had to sort of like dig in and defend an outpost. And over here we have the Cyprus campaign, and these are the soldiers that passed away or gave their lives for that. And you'll see there United Nations Task Force, and so I don't know exactly what it really stands for. And then the Lebanon, and here's the dedication to all of the Irish soldiers who have served and died overseas in service of their country. And they are blessed as the peacemakers. They shall be called the children of God. And over here we have the Lebanon campaign. As you can see, all the gentlemen here, all past soldiers, all of them. And here the Lebanon again. And here's another tribute to the men who fought for independence in Ireland. We are talking about the actual 1915, 16, 17 and 18, right to 1921. Ireland really fought for its independence. And here we have a memorial plaque for all the Garda Síochána. This is the Irish police, and this was erected by the Elagarty Memorial Committee. Now all these committees are different committees, obviously with families of these people that have passed on and got killed in foreign countries. And here's Irish United Nations troops. They were also in the Congo in 1960. And here we have the Irish Air Corps. So this is a very interesting section of this church and graveyard. Martyrs for the Lebanon. Dedicated to all women and children killed in all wars. You know, you just wonder if it's worth it, all of this. And here we have a whole list of soldiers that have moved on from the Great War. Now, when I go to Glasnevin, they give me information where we have a load of Irish men that died in the Boer War. And the Boers also had an Irish command. They were an Irish battalion that served under the Kruger forces in the Boer War. And at one stage it was Irishmen fighting Irishmen, which isn't new, believe it or not. And there we go, there's the inscription. The inscription says here, this is the famous one, which you're probably all familiar with. They shall not grow old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Very moving. So they got surgeons and the Royal College of Surgeons. We were everywhere here. We've got the VC here, of this gentleman here, Corporal John Cunningham, VC. Served in the European War, World War I in France with the British forces against the Germans. He died in hospital from effects of a wound received in the action, during which he won the Victoria Cross, the highest award of heroism. John Cunningham, number 3916 Corporal, late 2nd Battalion Leinster Regiment, for most conspicuous bravery and devoted to duty when in command of a Lewis gun section on the most exposed flank of the attack. His 6th section came under heavy enfilade fire and suffered severely. Although wounded, he succeeded almost alone, reaching his objective with his gun, which he got into action in spite of much opposition. When counter-attacked by a party of 20 of the enemy, he exhausted his ammunition against them. Then, standing in full view, he commenced throwing bombs. He was wounded again and fell, but picked himself up and continued to fight single-handed with the enemy until his bombs were exhausted. He then made his way to our lines with a fractured arm and other wounds. There is little doubt that the superb courage of this NCO cleared up a most critical situation on the left flank of the attack. And here we have all the garlands laid out here. And we've got a couple of Victoria Crosses going back right till, you know, in other conflicts. Here is another one. I'll leave the reading to you. It'll be down here. I hope you can see it okay, because my shadow's over there. This is for a Dr. George Bradshaw. He was in Sebastopol in 1857. You know, they didn't treat these veterans well after they returned from these conflicts, after serving in, you know, the Queen's Army and the King's Army. And here's to the hospital order, the Order of Malta in Ireland, from the Ambulance Corps. And this is dedicated, I'm not sure who these, I think this is for the immigrants of Ireland. All men and women and children from County Tipperary who died in the Great Famine. That was a terrible thing. To be honest, it was like a genocide to the Irish. It's a road we have to go down sometime. And here's the Korean War. And we have various plaques and contributions from families, and the names are all honored here in this small cemetery here. There's the other cannon. That's the one I thought was a howitzer. Maybe I'm wrong. And here we are in front of the church. Beautiful, and what a beautiful day to come out and do this. So that's all for now, but I will be doing a few more sections on this because there is so much to go into detail here. There you go, there's another one. So I'm going to leave you all now and wish you a lovely weekend. Stay safe and have a lovely day.